Welcome to our live event with Sheriff Gary Parsons. Sheriff Parsons is a lifelong resident of Lee County and a graduate of UVA-Wise. He has worked at the Lee County Sheriff's Office since 1987. He was a patrol officer for 3 years, investigator for 6 years, and sheriff for the past 20 years, having been elected 6 times by the citizens of Lee County. Sheriff Gary Parsons.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. Do I just look at the camera here?
Yeah, just pretend. Yep, yeah. And they can see you. Yep.
You know, I didn't see a TV till I was 10 years old, so all this is kind of new.
And you can see there too, right, Freddie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when the students come up and ask questions, we can switch it and you'll see them.
But it's got a time thing on it. It's watching me now.
Yeah, it's watching you. It's recording. Yeah.
Ignorance is not a pretty thing, is it, kids?
We're all learning here.
Ignorance is not a pretty thing. Hey, we wanted to speak to you guys a little bit today about bullying. And before we do, I want to bring up a good friend of mine. Come on up here, McGriff. McGriff, the crime dog. Big national celebrity. Everybody knows McGriff. You want to come up, wave to everybody.
Just wave to the camera and they'll see you.
Yeah. Look at what a picture we make there. Yeah. Okay. We'll get you back up in a minute. We got some Alpo for you over there. All right, we want to talk to you a little bit about bullying, and bullying's been around, since the beginning of time, and but it's became more to the forefront recently because people are starting to address it, which it's about time that they did. And we want to talk to the bullying people as well as the victims. Bullying is people that bully other people. They've got a problem of their own, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed as well as those that are victims. Most bullies they have some type of insecurity problems. They want to overcompensate for that by feeling superior over others. Bullies, statistics show that children that bullied in middle school, 80% of them end up at age 24 committing some type of crime. So it creates a pattern of almost, it's a criminal activity, the beginning of a criminal activity pattern lifestyle that starts with bullying. And I think that just like in all aspects of crime, prevention is a major part of it. And so I certainly want to address the victims of bullying and make sure that they have the resources and the ability to notify the proper authorities to deal with it, their teachers, their friends. But we also want to address the bullies and make sure that when we recognize who they are, we get them the right counseling and the right help to make sure that pattern doesn't continue. Bullying can impact people for the rest of their lives. I've told them I was going to tell this story. People will think it's humorous now, but I still remember it. I went to a combined school, so we were all the way from kindergarten to high school, so all the grades were in the same school. I was on the playground one day, and there were some high school boys had a jump rope saying they were going to hang me from a slide, and they actually had it over the slide and had a noose tied. And that seems humorous now, but that's been
1920.
1920, yeah. But that's 45 years ago, and I still remember that to this day. It had such an impact on it. It was so traumatizing that I can remember that. And those type of situations you think are fun and games may traumatize someone for years. And you have to realize that some people have more than others. Some people don't have the clothes that others have, and children, students, forget that we're all here together trying to accomplish something. And to look at someone's social status and use that against them, that's the most demeaning thing that you can do. I mean, some of these children already feel insecure, and then you come and beat them down. And so I would hope there's always going to be bullies, but I would hope that the students that aren't bullies that see this happen, intervene and support these kids that are being bullied and tell somebody about it. They may not have the self-esteem or they may be too afraid to tell. Don't let that go on with your friends or even your acquaintances you see in school that, you see that they're being mistreated. And think about if you were in that situation and if you would want someone to help you. There's also a statistic that says 160,000 kids estimated in the United States a day lay out of school because of bullying, because they don't want to go and be bullied and to be humiliated. And it's a serious problem. And there's a lot of information out there, and we have some brochures, and over the the next few weeks, we're going to try to distribute some of that in the school system after we've done this presentation, get some of that information out to you folks. I'm sure you have some in your guidance offices, but we're going to try to distribute some of that heavily in the next few weeks and get it out to you. But we just want the people that are being bullied to realize that there's help there, and that you can tell a teacher, you can tell an adult, a responsible adult, or if you don't feel comfortable, tell a friend that you know has the confidence to go to an adult and let them know what's happening to you. And those that bully, unfortunately, the mistakes you make in life now follow you the rest of your life. With the age we live in, the technological age, you get a reputation. That reputation is hard to shake. And although there's not a bullying statute in Virginia, there is a statute that tells the schools that they need to have a policy addressing it. But some of this bullying behavior could be charged as assault, as stalking, and as criminal acts, depending on how far they go with it. So remember that, of course, there's also cyberbullying, and another officer is going to talk to you a little bit about that. But, remember that words hurt people, and, things that you think are, I think of things I've said and when I was in high school, things to people that I'm ashamed of today. And, you think about how you want people to treat you, and certainly don't, because there's just people that's vulnerable, there's people that's quiet, there's people that's shy, and they're so easy to harass because they don't fight back. And you think about it, if you're one of those people that are harassing these people, that are bullying these people, look at yourself and ask yourself, what's my problem? Why am I doing that? And maybe I need to address this problem with myself and talk to someone and get some help about why I do this. Because if you're bullying people, you've got a problem. You've got a problem that you need to address early. I'm going to introduce another officer to you. He's going to give you some details and some facts about cyberbullying and things like that. And then if we have some time left, we're going to open it up to questions. And it don't have to be about bullying. We'll certainly answer any questions, but anything that you'd like to ask about law enforcement or anything, if we've got a few minutes, we'll do that. So I'm going to ask Officer Shawn to come up. He's a school resource officer at Thomas Walker, and he has some facts and details for you.
Hello, how are y'all doing today? I'm going to give you the definition of bullying and some of the characteristics of a bully. But the alarming status of bullies being bullied in the schools are 47% of high school students say they were bullied, teased, or taunted in a way that seriously upset them in the past year. Bullying happens when a person with greater power takes unfair advantage of a less powerful person, and these negative actions are repeated into a pattern of behavior. Bullying means there is an imbalance of power so that the victim cannot successfully defend himself or herself. Power can be physical size, strength, numbers, social standing skills, verbal skill, economic power, cultural or ethnic power, level of intelligence, popularity, gender, and etc. Bullying is the persistent abuse of an underdog. The child who bullies watches for opportunities to pick on the victim, and the victim feels tormented and defenseless. Characteristics of a bully: strong desire for power and control of others. Physical strength, greater than the average for an age and greater than victims. Age usually older than victims, average above average self-esteem. Charming manipulators. Low average of above average popularity outside of own group of followers, remorseless, continual tormenting of victims, lack of empathy or understanding for others, lack of conscience. And who are the victims? The root in a bully victim struggle, however, are certain individuals who are most often targeted for bullying. Traditionally, we have thought of these victims as the passive type. Research has revealed that there is another group of individuals who are often targeted as well. These have been provocative victims because they provoke or hassle others. A characteristic of a victim: rarely tell about being bullied because they think will make matters worse. Don't think adults can work or help. I have an instance at Thomas Walker and other schools to where when people are bullied, they're too scared to come to an adult and talk to them. And it's sad because students, we're here for you. I'm here in the school to protect you. Teachers are there because they want to help, and we can't help unless you don't tell us who is being bullied and so forth. Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied, and 85% of the time, no one is there to intervene. In other words, you could say that everyone in the community suffers from bullying behaviors. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about cyberbullying and how we can stop it. Direct attacks of cyberbullying, instant messaging, text messaging, harassment. Cyberbullies may send hateful or threatening messages. Websites. Cyberbullies sometimes create websites specifically designed to insult another kid or group of people. Sending threatening pictures and instant messaging through email and cell phones. Stealing passwords. A cyberbully may steal the victim's passwords. They may also change the victim's profile to include sexual, racist, and inappropriate things that may attract unwanted attention. Sending malicious code. Many cyberbullies will send viruses, spyware, and hacking programs to their victims. Viruses can destroy the victim's computer, and spyware will allow them to spy on them. Their victim Trojan horse programs allow the cyberbully to control their victims completely remotely. Impersonation. Posing as the victim, the cyberbully may post a provocative message in a chat room inviting an attack against the victim, often giving a name, address, and telephone number of the victim. They often also send a message to someone saying hateful or threatening things while masquerading as the victim. Blogs. Cyberbullies sometimes use blogs to damage other kids' reputations or invade their privacy. They may even set up a blog or profile page pretending to be their victim. Internet polling, and we've seen this on Facebook, is who's hot and who's not. These types of questions run rampant on the internet polls, all created by teens. Interactive gaming, and a lot of kids play games. These gaming devices allow kids to communicate by chat and live internet phone with anyone they game with. Online, kids verbally abuse the other kids using threats and lewd language. Sometimes they take it further by locking them out of games, passing false rumors about them, or hacking into the accounts. These are cyberbullying suggestions for students. What to do if you're cyberbullied. Tell a trusted adult. Don't open messages from people you don't know. Don't open or read messages from cyberbullies. Don't react to the bully. If it is at school, tell a trusted adult at school. Don't erase the message or images. Block the bully. Report cyberbullying to ISPs. If you're threatened, inform the police. Don't give out private information such as passwords or PIN numbers. Use netiquette, be polite online, and others tend to do so. Ignore anyone who gets angry online. When something doesn't seem just right, leave the site or the chat room. And cyberbullying, these are suggestions for students. How to prevent cyberbullying. Don't email when you are angry. Don't email with friends and target someone for entertainment. Don't forward an email that someone sent as a private message. Don't post questionable pictures of others on social network sites. And something else that I want to inform you about is on Facebook. When you're on Facebook and you have a friend that you don't know, this has happened before and I've seen it. It's a form of child trafficking, and it's very serious, and it's happened in our community, and I want you to become very aware of it. That there's people out there that are adults that are putting pictures of young kids pretending to be them and becoming your friend on Facebook. You have to watch this, okay? Because they want to be your friend, and if they become friends with you, they want to instant message you and ask you a whole bunch of questions. They want to ask you where you live. Don't give any kind of personal information out online to anybody because you don't know who it is. Stay in your group of close friends. Don't get out and message people that you don't know who it is. This is very dangerous. It's happening all over the country, and it's actually happening in Lee County now too, that you're being targeted. And I'm just telling you guys, if this happens, please come to an adult, come to me, come to law enforcement. I'm asking you that, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hey, I already have several questions, but I'm gonna wait and see if students ask you first.
Okay, we'll give them a minute there, but folks, we just take this very seriously, and don't hesitate to tell someone that you've witnessed bullying or been a victim of bullying, because that situation can be handled. We can deal with it. The school system can deal with it. And you shouldn't have to. You should enjoy your school years. You shouldn't be harassed. And we want to make sure that you have a safe school environment to learn.
Okay, does anybody have any questions out there? Stephanie Lehigh? Okay, let me unmute her. Just a second, let me get you unmuted. I don't know why this is very touchy.
Can you hear me?
Stephanie, yeah, I got you now. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, no, I can't hear him now. See if you can unmute it on your side, Stephanie. It's not letting me. No, just a second. Still can't hear you. There you go. Now you're in.
Okay, my name is Robbie Burchett, and I would like to know when it becomes a police matter, whenever you have to step in, whenever it's so bad.
It becomes a police matter when someone is injured, there's an assault. Also, if it becomes a stalking issue, where someone is harassed to the point that it's considered stalking, which means actually taking actions to harass someone to the point that you can document different instances where it is with the intent to harass. Like I say, there's no bullying statute. A lot of people think there is, per se, that says, you know, you can be charged with bullying, but there is a statute that says the schools have to have a policy, and, you know, also that can lead to expulsion or suspension based on the severity of the bullying.
Thank you.
All right, let me go to, well, everybody's got questions. Whoa, y'all are
Have
popular.
any questions for the dog?
Let's see. Let me go to
He's a mouth breather.
Dryden here first, and takes me a second to find everybody. Oh, can you unmute yourself, Rosemary? I think that's what's happening.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. So let me switch to you. All right.
My name is Robert, and I was wondering what should you do whenever you get bullied and there's not a teacher around?
Well, you just need to find an adult as soon as you can, and also, I'm sure if you have good friends that are around you, go to them and get them, stay with them till you can get to an adult and have someone there to support you. You know, if you're bullied, there's strength in numbers, and always have some of your friends with you when there's a situation like that that you're fearful of until you can reach an adult and talk to them.
All right. Let's see. Elk Knob has a question, and then we've got Jonesville. Might have somebody's unmuted there.
Listen.
What would happen if you when you're around somebody and they try to hurt you, and then they go to other people and then they gang around you and start trying to hurt you?
That's a bad situation there, and hopefully you can get away from those people and get to someone as quickly as you can. If you're in a school situation and there's someone within sound distance, you're afraid to scream just as loud as you can and try to get some attention. Somebody come to you.
All right. Let me go to somebody's muted there. Let me get Dryden back. All right. So Jonesville, I'm going to unmute you. If your student comes up that needs to ask a question. Can you say something? Let me see, or unmute.
I see them. Oh, there they went.
Okay, but I can't hear you. All right, you're good to go.
Okay. I was wondering. First off, I would like to thank you for your service, Mr. Parsons.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Next off, I was wondering, how did you get into that position? I know you got voted in, but how long did it take you to get qualified for that?
To initially go into law enforcement or become sheriff?
Become the sheriff.
Well, I became sheriff through happenstance. The previous sheriff passed away, and I was in the office, working in the office. And back at that time, the three circuit court judges of the district chose the sheriff and appointed that person. Now the law has changed, and now it's the second highest ranking official becomes sheriff. So if I was to kill over here, then Major Woodard would become sheriff. But those three judges appointed me, and that's how I became sheriff. Why they appointed me, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if that's good or not, but they did. So, but appreciate your question.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to Rose Hill now. You're good.
I was wondering, what happens after the bully gets punished?
Well, hopefully the bully will quit bullying, but you know that also puts the bully there, brings attention to the bully. That means the teachers will watch the bully more, and everyone around the students will be more aware, and so that kind of puts the person that's bullying on notice, and hopefully that bully will get the proper counseling to get that situation resolved and taken care of. What grade you guys in?
I muted them
Oh,
back because they had so much feedback. That was Rose Hill.
that's just the whole school, right?
Yeah, they can bring anybody in the library there, but the other classrooms can be watching too. So now St. Charles has a question. All right, St. Charles.
Hello.
Yeah, so the student can come up to the camera and we'll be able to see him.
Right here, Deputy.
You should be able to see him there. Okay.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Devil McAllister, and I'm from I'm from Virginia, and never mind. But my question is, what if someone steals your someone you really trust's identity, and they go on a website that you're on, and they want to talk to you, and they try to steal all your important information?
If they do that, then is the question still going on?
No,
The time has got me there. I can see you guys, but there's like a 5-second delay. So, but that's something that needs to come to the attention of law enforcement. If there's identity theft involved, and you can either have your parent or teacher contact us, and we have tools and resources. We have packets that help us notify the right people about that your identity has been stolen, and so we have the resources to deal with that. We need to be notified if that occurs.
Okay, we've got several. We've got 5 or 6 minutes here, and everybody's still coming. And then one said, tell Devin hi from Dryden. So I think the students are seeing each other between the schools, and now they're sending me message to tell the other students hi, whatever. So we're going to move back to Elk Knob.
Emily, go ahead. You're first.
Whenever someone steals like your friend's picture and puts it on Facebook, how do you know it's not your friend?
If someone steals your friend's,
Can you say it again, Emily?
Whenever someone like starts a profile on Facebook and says they're your friend, but it's really not, how do you know it's not really your friend?
I don't think you know it initially, but hopefully you can contact your friend and by some other means and find out if that's legitimate. But you know, if you're on Facebook, you realize that most time when they realize they've been hacked and that's been done, they put out a message letting people know. But really, you don't know it immediately. So hopefully you know your friend well enough to know if what's being said or something is out of character for them, if that's really something your friend would be doing.
Okay, we have Pennington Middle has a question. We get them going. Oh, you're loud.
Come on, Mikey.
Oh wow! Look at how he walked. Look at how he walked. Now you give a camera.
In down.
Hi, my name is Michael Hamilton, and how has bullying affected our county?
We can't hear you for the laughing. Can he say it again?
How has bullying affected our county?
How has bullying affected our
Well,
county?
I mean, it creates an environment for a lot of students that they can enjoy the school. It affects people's studies. People that are so depressed that they can't do their work. And there's been instances of suicides in our county that there could have been elements of bullying involved in that, based on people being so depressed because they've been harassed so badly. So it creates a hostile environment for everybody. And also it affects, like I said earlier, children as they grow into adulthood. It helps to mold them maybe in a bad way, because of the trauma involved with it.
Okay, we're going back to Rose Hill has another question. We've got time for a few more.
You're the boss lady.
All right, let me get you up here. All right, wait a minute. Andrea, can you unmute you? There we go.
If a bully is following you everywhere, how do you avoid them?
Well, that is a situation where it could become a criminal issue if they're following you everywhere, where they could actually be charged. So if that's going on, you definitely need to contact an adult and get that documented in some way that it's happening so that it can be addressed. I mean, that's certainly not rational, for someone to be doing that. There's a problem there. So certainly contact an adult, a teacher, or a parent, let someone know that's going on.
Okay, we got one from Jonesville. We're going to take one more from Dryden. So let me get Jonesville up here. Go ahead, Jonesville.
Okay, I was wondering, how old do you have to be before the police actually charge you for being a bully?
I've seen charges as low as 9 years old, criminal charges for children. And I'm not sure if that's in statute, how low that goes, but I have actually seen criminal charges placed against a 9-year-old.
Okay. Meeting each other. Okay. Apparently that's, they're all thinking about it anyway. We've got so many questions about it. All right, Dryden.
Okay. Hello, my name is Bryce Miller. And my name is Zach Eads. And we just want to know what kind of bullying happens around in Lee County. The most.
Officer Oaks might can tell you more about that than I can, but it's it's just the type of thing where you talking bad about people, pushing them, just treating them badly in school. And you guys see it. If you're in school, you see it. You know what's going on there, and that's what we're here urging you to report and tell people about so we can stop it. So, but just humiliating people and degrading them and making them feel worthless. And that's not the type of environment we want to have here in our school system.
Okay, I told him maybe one more. We'll see who raises their hand first. I'd already told them one more, so they might have all decided and gave up their. Oh wait, no, Elk Knob said me. All right, so let's get them. All right, Lindsay, get you up here. All right.
What happens if somebody threatens you on the internet or texts you, and then when you go and tell an adult, they delete it real fast?
Well, you could screenshot it. You could, get a screenshot of that actual post before they have an opportunity to get rid of it. That's about the only way that you can preserve it. And then, of course, notify us, and we'll see if we can go through certain channels and get certain records where we can verify where it came from.
Okay, Lehigh has one more. This is it, okay? Let me get you. You got it done. Let me see what Stephanie's got.
I gotta get my dog out here and get some water.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
Are you unmuted, Stephanie? Stephanie, can you unmute it on that end? There you go.
Excuse me, I was going to ask if bullying was taken as far as physical violence or suicide,
What could the bully be charged with?
They could be charged with. They could be charged with whatever crimes that led up to it, and if you can prove that, we'll be able to find some type of associated charge. I think the Commonwealth Attorney is going to be presenting later. Certainly asked him that question and about what charges he thinks we canceled.
Well, they had a trial.
He had a trial.
Yes.
But anyway, I think there's certain charges that possibly be associated with it, but it would depend on the circumstances and what you could prove. But any act of stalking, anything occurred, we might be able to place a charge there.
Great. Thank you. Any last words before you close up?
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate these fellas showing up, and we'll get the dog out here and get it fed and get him back to his dog house.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. See you guys.